Hey, girl! It's so good to see you! I feel like we haven't been able to catch up for a while. It's good to see you too. But you know that's not true. We saw each other only about a week ago, you know. You're being so dramatic. We see each other all the time and you know it. I know that. I didn't say that we haven't seen each other. I said that it feels like we haven't seen each other. It just feels like longer than a week, that's all. Time can be such a funny thing sometimes. Yeah, I guess I know what you mean. Anyway, let's take a seat and order some coffee. I am dying for an iced latte. So, what's been going on then? Anything new with you? What are the latest updates? Oh, not too much, you know. Same old, same old. Except I have a new boyfriend. What? Really? Tell me about him then. Who is it? Do I know him? No, you don't know him. I basically met him through a mutual friend of ours who I went out for drinks with. My boyfriend's name is Carl, and he was there with us, and we just got along really well. And this happened in the week or so since I last saw you? Does that really happen so fast? I know! It really was so quick and out of nowhere. But you know, you find love when you're not actually looking for it. It was just luck that Carl was there and we seriously hit it off. We met up again the next day for lunch and kind of started seeing each other then and there, more or less. Sometimes people just click, you know? At least that's what it seemed like with us. Well, congratulations. That's really good news. I didn't expect that sort of thing, really. And why would you say that? You think that I can't get a man or something? You know that isn't what I meant by that. It's just that I saw you last week with no boyfriend, and now just 1 week later, you do have one. I am just surprised by how fast that happened with you. But I really am happy for you, though. Really. Don't worry, I know that. I was just teasing you a little. So, how about you? Any big news on your front? I guess you're married, so no new boyfriends, right? Unless... Come on, don't joke like that. You know I don't like it. Steve and I have been together for 10 years or something at this point. There aren't going to be any new boyfriends. At least I really hope not. We have a son, Wendy. I know. Why do you always take my jokes so seriously? I'm obviously just joking about this. I know about your boy and how well you get along with Steve. Okay, well, I'm just saying that I don't really like those sorts of jokes. I don't want you to jinx anything. But anyway, everything is pretty much normal. Although Tom did start playing basketball. You told me that the last time I saw you. I never thought that would be the sport he went with. I told you that then, remember? Oh, did I? Sorry, I like to talk about him too much, I think. I sometimes don't even think if someone has heard the story or not. I get it. Maybe one day I will have a little boy or girl that I can brag about and tell my friends all about until they get annoyed. You can always tell me if that happens. I won't get annoyed listening to you talk about that. Then I'll hold you to that. And you know, I have a good memory. You had better write it down, though. You'll definitely forget about it. How's the mother-in-law doing then? Is she keeping herself in check? Fiona is fine for the most part, you know. Sometimes she gets a little bossy or whatever, but she has never been too forward or pushy. We all get along fairly well. They come over for dinner, usually about once a week. There can be some tense moments, but nothing has ever boiled over into a fight or anything close to it. Well, I am glad to hear that. My ex's mother was a complete witch. She really thought she could control me. And we weren't even married. We were still just dating, and she still tried to tell me what to do. And then my idiot ex, his name was John. So John just let her do it and never said anything at all. Can you believe that? He couldn't even see how much of an issue it was. What a hopeless guy. As if any girl will accept that sort of thing. Exactly. And of course I didn't, which is why he's my ex. We didn't last long at all after I met his mother. Just make sure that Fiona doesn't get too loud a hand. Or at least make sure that Steve is there to step in. We've been married a long time. I am sure it will all be fine. If she was going to be weird or overbearing, she would have done it already. Yeah, maybe. But you never know. Oh, here comes our coffee! Hey, I'm home. Welcome back. How was work? Tough day? More or less the same. Usual sort of day. I do have some news, though. Oh, don't tell me that. Is it good news or bad news? You have to start with that or else I am going to get nervous. You know that. I don't know whether it's good or bad news, though. Maybe bad news? Depends how you look at it. Not like bad news, though. I don't know what you're on about. You had better just tell me. My boss told me that I have to go on a business trip from Friday. Friday? You mean like this coming Friday? Yeah, that's right. I will only be gone for 4 days, though. I will be back on Tuesday sometime, so it's not too bad. And then I will have the rest of the week off to make up for losing this weekend. I think that's a pretty decent trade-off, to be honest. I see. Well, I sort of understand now what you mean about it not being really bad news. I don't want you to go, but it's not the worst thing that could happen. It is a little bit last minute, though, right? Yeah, exactly. And it will be over before you even know I am gone. At least it's not a super long one like the last time. God, that sucked so much. You were gone for almost 3 weeks. I couldn't believe it. They had never sent you on a trip that long before. I know. I didn't like it too much myself. Hopefully they don't send me on another one that long again. Do you think it's likely? I don't know if you can even guess that, though. I suppose they make up their minds about it when it comes up. Not much that you can do about it either way, right? I can't say for sure, of course, but I think it's pretty unlikely. Usually they are under 1 week. There were just so many issues that one time, which made it take so much longer. But like you said, I don't have too much say in when I get sent out somewhere. It's fairly chill, though. It could be a lot worse, that's for sure. They tend to be a little bit more lenient when someone has kids. If possible, they send a person who doesn't have young kids to look after. That's not always possible, though, and it turns out to be a little unfair if it's the same few employees getting sent around all the time. Yeah, but at least they do take family into consideration a little bit. Let's just hope this one goes smoothly, then. Tom would miss you, too, if you're gone for that long. Oh, he will be fine. He's getting too old to care whether his old man is around all of the time or not. That's not true. He's still only 10 years old. Maybe he's getting to that stage where he pretends to be big and handle things on his own, but he's still a boy. He needs his father around as much as possible. I guess. Speaking of Tom, though, you know he has basketball this Saturday. Sorry, but can I ask you to take him this time around? I know that it's supposed to be the day you have time to yourself, but I won't be here to take him myself. That's fine. Of course I understand that has to be the case. I wouldn't actually mind taking him and seeing him play. It is usually your father-son time, so I haven't seen him play that much. It might be fun for me as well. And with you gone until Tuesday, I will have plenty of alone time while Tom is at school or at a friend's house on the weekend. That's true. You will like seeing him play. He really is getting much better. He's not the tallest or the strongest kid on the court, but his technique is good, and he always does his best. That's all that we can ask him to do. I don't want him to be too competitive just yet. Maybe when he's older and he decides that sports is something that he really wants to pursue, it will be fine. But at the moment, I don't think it's necessary. It's alright. No one takes it super seriously. The parents, the kids, and the referees all know that it's just for fun more than anything else. What time was it again? That he has to be there by? The game will start at 8:30 in the morning, so it's better to be there around 7:30 so they can warm up and have a team talk and all the rest of it. That's an early Saturday. I guess I never noticed you guys leaving so early because you let me sleep in. I will have to set an alarm. I think my body is too used to sleeping in on Sundays. I'm sure Tom will be the only alarm you need. He always wakes up before me and comes to drag me out of bed if I am up even a little bit later than when I told him I would be. Really? He wakes up that well on his own? I would have thought you would be the one dragging him out of bed each day. Not at all, not at all. I suppose he's just really excited and wants to make sure that he doesn't arrive late. Remember how it was when you were a kid? You have school the whole week and then finally on the weekend you have something to look forward to. You think about it all week, so there's no chance that your mind would let you miss it. I think that's what's going on. I don't know if I ever really had a hobby like that. My parents made me play tennis when I was little, and I hated it. I had always wanted to do gymnastics, but they never let me. I don't know why even now. Why don't you ask them? I am sure they will be able to tell you. I have asked them before, but it didn't do much good. They just tell me that I was the one who wanted to do tennis. I know that's not true, though. They must be losing their memory as they age. People remember everything differently. Who is to say anymore what really happened when we're talking about 20+ years ago? I know that I never wanted to play tennis. I remember very clearly how much I wanted to stay in bed, and I never had fun out on the court. Okay, I will take your word for it then. I always wanted to get up and be at football practice, though. I wasn't even any good at it. But I just like running around on the field, I guess. I can totally understand how Tom feels. I just wish that it was still as easy for me to get up now in the morning as it was back then. Yeah, well, a lot of things were much easier when we were younger. Dinner will be ready soon, by the way. Go wash up first and get changed. Then I will call you when it's done. Oh, hi, Fiona. What are you doing here? I didn't expect to see you today. What do you mean, what am I doing here? Can't I come to see you guys when I like? Do I need to make a reservation or something? I didn't know this place was so in demand that I needed to book a slot to come around. Of course you can. Sorry, that's not how it was supposed to come out. I just meant that I was surprised to see you. You didn't call in advance, and you usually do when you are going to drop in. Of course you don't need to book something. Don't be like that. Oh, yes. Well, today I was just really close by and decided to drop in at the last second. Sorry about that. I didn't think it would be necessary to make a phone call just a few minutes before I showed up. No, it's fine. I don't mind at all. I'm afraid it's just me on my own right now, though. The boys are both out of the house just now. Sorry if you were trying to catch them while they were in. Really? Where are they then? Did they go off somewhere together and leave you here all on your own? That's not very nice of them now, is it? Leaving you all alone in the house like this. Oh, it's nothing like that. Steve is away on business and won't be back until sometime tomorrow. Oh, really? I see. Then what about Tom? Where is he if he is not here or with his dad? He's just at a friend's house right now playing. His friend's mom will drop him off later tonight after dinner. He's at a friend's house? On a weekday? Is that really what he should be doing? Well, yeah? What do you mean? Why does it matter if it's a weekend or a weekday? Of course it matters! He should be at home doing his homework right now, shouldn't he? How is he going to do well at school if he's just out playing all the time? Oh, he will be totally fine. He always manages to get his homework done on time, and he's only 10, so it's not like his homework load is that bad anyway. He should use his childhood to enjoy time with his friends, build some relationships, and create some good memories. I think all of that will be good for him to have done when he is older. He can look back and remember all the good times he had as a kid, you know? No, I don't know. That might sound all well and good, but back in my day, study was the priority. And these days it should be the same. He might still be young, but the effort put in during childhood is some of the most important. Kids pick up on things faster than adults, and then he will remember what he learns as a kid for his whole life. You should really push him to succeed a little more than you are doing now. Like I said, he does all of his work and then has time left over to enjoy himself. If he didn't finish things, then it would be a different story. It's not like we just let him slack off or anything. But we want him to be able to go at his own pace and not push him too hard. If we do, then he will just grow up hating the idea of school and study. And he will resent us too for making him do things he doesn't like so much. That's complete nonsense. There are so many things in life that we have to do even if we don't want to do them. And he should learn that now while he can. The earlier a child learns that, the better is what I say. It will happen eventually. He should be ready for when he sees what the world is really like. And even if he does feel a little resentful towards you at the beginning, when he grows up, he will realize how much it has helped him and be thankful to you in return. At the moment, it's the opposite. He will be thankful now and then resentful later when he realizes that you and Steve could have pushed him harder than you did. I really don't know about that. I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think that would work with Tom. And it's also not really how we parent either. It would come across all wrong, and I think Tom would be all the worse for it. Even though there might be some things that we hope for and want him to aspire to, it should be up to him and not us what he does. Instead, Steve and I will support him all the way, no matter what he chooses to do. Complete garbage. Everyone is going too soft these days. Even the parents don't know how to discipline children or make them do what they need to. And don't even get me started on the teachers these days. I don't know how they even give out teaching licenses these days, but whatever it is they are doing is simply not right. Not at all. Right, let's not talk about that then. It sounds like it will get you worked up for no reason. Were you planning on staying for dinner? I'm afraid I don't really have anything ready because no one else was home. I was just going to whip myself up something quick and easy a little later, but I could figure something out. It might take a little while, though. Do you think you can wait? No, it's fine, it's fine. I just wanted to drop by and see my grandson, but he is not here, so I should go home now, too. There is one thing that you could do for me, though, Sarah. Okay, sure. What is it that you need? Maybe I can do something. Come around tomorrow for me and help me with a few things around the house. It's been getting more and more difficult for me to manage with it all on my own, and Gary will be out of the house. It might even give us a chance to talk a little bit more. Tomorrow? But Steve is coming back from his business trip tomorrow. I don't have any problems helping you out, but I do want to see Steve. I would prefer to be home when he gets back if it's all right with you. But he won't be back in the morning or afternoon, will he? He will take some time to come home from the airport and all that. There will probably be delays somewhere along his way, too. I think we will have plenty of time. I guess not. He said that it would be closer to evening. Maybe around 6 he will be back home. See? So there's no problem at all. You can come by around 10 in the morning and we will be done by the time Steve is home. You're not really going to say no to me, are you? No, of course not. I was just thinking about Steve, but you're right that if he is coming in the evening, I will have time to help you out. Okay, then I guess I will see you at yours at 10 tomorrow? Yes, and make sure you're not late. I don't like it when people are late. Good morning, Fiona. Here I am. What did you need help with then? Sarah, you're late! I asked you to be here at 10 this morning. Did you even check the time when you left? What were you doing that you couldn't make it at the time that I asked you to be here? What do you mean? It is 10? It's already after 10, you know. Can't you even tell the time properly? It's almost 10 past 10, actually. Oh, well, yeah. But I thought that you just meant come sometime around 10 in the morning. I didn't think it was something that I needed to be right on the dot for. I mean, it's just the two of us, right? It's not like there's a strict schedule that we need to stick to or something that starts at 10. That's no excuse. I told you that there was a lot of stuff to do today and that you should come to do it. And I told you specifically to not be late. I don't like it when people can't come at the time that they said that they would. Would you come this late when you made plans with other people? Or is it just me who you're showing disrespect to? If the plans were this vague and last minute, then I might be 5 minutes or so late. It's not like I would actively try and be late, but if I was a little late, I don't think it would be a big deal. And I don't think anyone would really hold me against it. I wasn't trying to disrespect you or anything, all right? I just left the house a little later than I meant to and ended up a little late. But I'm here now, aren't I? Let's just get started with the chores and we can finish them up in no time. Fine then, I suppose 5 or 10 minutes late isn't the worst thing in the world. But you should be careful. This sort of thing builds into a habit and then you will end up being late for everything in your life. You don't want to do that and be a bad example for Tom, do you? I don't think that will happen, but sure. I will be a bit more careful to be on time in the future. I just really didn't think too much of it today, that's all. So, then what can I help you out with? You didn't really lay out yesterday what you needed help with. Could you fill me in now? There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs doing. First, let's come inside and I will show you what needs to be done. Okay, so you see all of these cupboards and shelves. Well, all of these things haven't been moved or dusted or washed for a long time. I need you to take them off and wipe the shelves, wash the ornaments, and then put them back. But make sure that you put them back exactly like they are right now. I like the way they are positioned, and I don't want them put back just willy-nilly. Okay, sure. I can do that for you, no problem. How about I wash the ornaments and then you wipe the shelves? Or did you want to do it the other way around? Which way would be better for you? No, I can't do that. I am much too old to be standing on a chair and wiping down these surfaces. And I can't reach them without something to stand on. Do you even know what would happen to someone my age if I fell down from that height? I would probably crack a hip and need a hip replacement. And that's if nothing worse happened. Okay, so did you want to wash them then while I take care of everything that's sort of high and out of reach? And then you can hand them up to me when you're done and tell me where they go so that I don't put anything back in the wrong spot. I don't think I will be able to wash so many things in one sitting. The sink is a little low and it hurts my back to lean forward like that. And my back is acting up a little worse than normal today for the record. Then what are you going to do? Do you want me to do the whole thing by myself? That would be ideal, yes. While you're doing this, I can sort out some things in another room. This will save my back a lot of strain. Plus, since all of the dust that is built up filters down to the ground every now and then, it will save us cleaning later. Gary sometimes has sneezing fits, and I have a feeling that it is to do with all the dust in those nooks and crannies. It would take me a lot longer to do it all on my own, though. You know, getting up and down from the chair all the time. Well, it can't be helped, can it? I'm too old to be doing either of those things. How do I know where to put everything back then, though? I won't be able to remember everything just by looking at it once. You have your phone with you, don't you? Just take a photo of where everything is, and then you should be fine. Really, Sarah, it doesn't hurt to use your brain a little once in a while. It's pretty obvious what you should do, I would think. Okay, I see. Well, I guess I will take care of this then. Can you just show me where you have some of your cleaning supplies? They're all right here under the kitchen sink. Take what you need, but try not to use more than you need to. Things are getting more expensive every day, and I don't want anything to go to waste. Sure, I will just use what I need. What are you going to be working on while I am in here? Oh, no need to worry yourself about that. Just a bit of this and that needs to be taken care of in the bedroom. When you're done, you can come and find me, and we can move on to the next thing. Make sure that you knock on the door before you come in, though. Just a little rule of mine, okay? Sure, but what do you mean, next thing? Is there even more to do than this today? By the time I am done, I will have cleaned the entire living room all by myself. This will probably take quite some time. There's plenty more to do, and this room shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 hours if you work at a good clip. That's quite a long time to work on one thing. Well, I did ask you for help, and you told me that you would help me out. Are you going to try and back out now that you know what I need from you? You really shouldn't take things back after you already agreed to do something. It's really not a good look. How can I trust you to keep your word if you do things like that? No, I didn't mean things like that. I will happily help. I know that it's important to do a big clean every once in a while. Okay, well, I will come and find you in the bedroom when I am done. Good. And don't forget to knock before you come in, okay? Fiona? Are you there? Can you hear me? I finished cleaning up the living room and everything is back where it belongs. Do you want to come and take a look? Hello? Fiona? Oh, sorry, darling. What was it that you were saying? I didn't quite hear you. I was saying that I have finished what you asked me to do. What's going on? You look like you have just woken up. Were you sleeping while I was cleaning? Oh, God, no! Do you really think that I would do something like that? I just dozed off a little towards the end, but that happens from time to time when you get to my age. Give it a couple more decades and you will see exactly what I am talking about. Right. Then did you want to take a look and check that everything is in the right spot? I've cleaned up and I think it all looks pretty good. Did you take a photo of everything before you started like I told you to? Yes, I did. And I followed it to make sure everything is where it belongs. Then why do I need to check it if you made sure everything is where it is supposed to be? Oh, I don't know. I was just thinking you might want to take a look to see how it all turned out. I will look at it later. Let's keep things going. There's still a lot of work to do. We want to get it all done before the end of the day now, don't we? Let's go outside now. There is some yard work that I need you to help me with. Wow! This place looks like it hasn't been weeded or taken care of for quite a while. When was the last time that this lawn was mowed? I doubt this place has seen a lawnmower for years, maybe. Oh, I don't even know about that at this point. Gary is the same as me these days and finds it hard to have the energy to get the mower out to sort out this place. I don't think it has been years like you so rudely put it, but it has definitely been quite some time. And you want me to mow the lawn then? The grass is pretty long, but that shouldn't take too long, I don't think. Actually, I would like you to weed it. If you just mow it right now, you will only cut the weeds, but the roots will still be there, and then they will pop back up in no time. You know that you have to really get in there to make sure that they are gone for good. Look at them all growing there! There are probably more weeds than there is grass at this point. And you want me to do this by hand? This is going to take hours. I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't have that much experience gardening. I know that it will take a long time. This is why I was telling you to come early so that you could get started. Now, for as to where to start. Anywhere is as good as anywhere else, isn't it? Why not start from this corner here and then spread outwards? That way you won't miss any weeds as you go. Experience doesn't matter for a simple task like this either. Don't be ridiculous. I think there are some gloves and trowels and that sort of thing in that little shed over there. It should be unlocked. Now off you go! The day is getting away from us. Fiona, aren't you going to help me at some point? I don't know if I will be able to do this all on my own today. And my back is killing me, and it's so hot out here as well. If your back is killing you, then just imagine what weed in the garden would do to mine. I can't bend down there. I might never get back up again. And in the sun as well. I would probably get heat stroke or something. You wouldn't want that to happen to me now, would you? Of course I wouldn't want that to happen to you. But this isn't exactly what I had in mind when you told me that you needed some help. I thought that I would be helping you, but instead I am basically just doing everything on my own. You have just been watching me from over there while drinking tea the entire time. Isn't there something that you could do to help me out and that is not too hard on your back? And don't you think that I would be doing that if there was? God, I am your mother-in-law and you have a problem doing a little bit of gardening and cleaning for me. I need just a little bit of help and you just start complaining over it. I don't ask you often, and the one time that I really needed a hand, this is what I hear. I'm not even complaining about the fact that I am doing something for you. But this isn't just a little bit of gardening, as you say it is. This is hard work. There's so much to do here, and it would probably have been a better idea to hire a professional to do it. They have the tools needed and also know how to get it done properly and quickly. You want me to hire someone? Are you crazy? Just to pull out a few weeds from the back garden. That would cost me way too much for the service. I don't need it done badly enough to hire someone to do it. But you still need it done badly enough to rope me into doing it all on my own? Well, I am not paying you now, am I? Paying someone and getting it done for free by my daughter-in-law are two completely different things. Surely even you can see how those aren't really comparable. Now, if you're getting hot and tired, I can make you a nice cool drink to make you feel a little bit better. That would be nice. I should take a break for a while as well. That will be better for me. What do you mean? You have just been taking a break by talking to me. You better get a move on or you won't even finish before the sun goes down. I think it is better if everything gets done today, otherwise you will need to come back and do it again tomorrow. Wouldn't you rather get it all done today and be done with it all in one go? Of course I would. But I don't know if that is even possible with how much work there is to do. Maybe it won't be possible if you have that kind of attitude. Just set your mind to it and it will be done before you even realize. But stopping and complaining to me about how much there is to do isn't going to make it get done any faster. Now, I will go and see what sort of drink I can make you. I think I have the ingredients to make some nice lemonade. That will be just the thing you need to perk you up. Now get back to it and I will be back with your drink.
Hey, where have you been? I thought that you would be home waiting for me tonight. I told you that I would be getting back tonight, didn't I?
I'm sorry. I really thought that I would be, but something came up. I am so exhausted. But I have something that I really need to talk to you about.
What is it? And where have you been? What have you been doing? You look like you just spent the whole day doing construction work or something. Your jeans and shirt are completely filthy.
I pretty much was doing that. Maybe not construction, but manual labor of a kind. And it's all because of your mother.
What do you mean by that? What did she do?
She came over last night out of the blue while I was home alone. Tom was at a friend's house, and then she asked me to come over today to help her with some stuff.
Okay, that sounds reasonable enough. It's nice of you to do that for her.
It wasn't really reasonable at all. I don't mind lending her a hand or anything, but she made me do everything. I thought I was going to be helping her, but in the end she just sat around while I weeded the entire back garden all on my own. It was so much work and the sun was out and it was hot. And when I was cleaning the living room, she told me that she was going to do some things in the bedroom, but I am pretty sure that she was just sleeping.
Why do you think that she was doing that? She was probably just cleaning her room while you were busy in the living room.
No, I don't think so. She told me to knock when I was done in the living room and to not come in myself. That was probably so that I didn't catch her.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, she never wanted me in her room either when I was growing up. People have different little quirks when it comes to their bedroom. It's usually not a place that they want others to see or go into.
But it wasn't just that. When I did knock and try to get her to tell me what else she needed, she took a while to come out, and she was very bleary-eyed. She looked like she had just woken up, and when I asked her, she said that she just dozed off because she is getting old. But I think that she was just sleeping the whole time.
I think you're probably just overthinking that a bit. I mean, it's pretty normal for older folks to nod off when they're sitting down or doing something quiet. And as much as I don't want to admit it, my mom is really getting on these days. It's weird to think of her as being elderly, but she really is there, I suppose.
I know that that sort of thing happens, but she kept using her age as an excuse as to why she couldn't help me. She can't stand on a chair to get to high places because she might fall and break a hip. She couldn't wash anything because bending over the sink hurts her back. And the same with bending down to get the weeds in the garden.
The hip thing might be a bit much, but the weeding thing I totally understand. That's hard work to do, even for someone who isn't old.
You can say that again. I just spent like 7 hours in the garden or something like that. I get that she can't do anything so physically taxing, but why do I have to do it for her? She could have easily hired someone to do it for her, and it probably wouldn't have been that much. Instead, she just stood there watching me and giving me commands from time to time.
Look, I know that it was probably a long and hard day, but it's a nice thing that you did for her. She doesn't ask you to do that all the time, so try not to get too angry about it, okay? I think she probably just wants to show you that she thinks of you as being close enough that she can ask you to do this sort of thing.
We have known each other since the two of us got married. This isn't the way that she needs to show me that we are close. And she has never really done this before either. Maybe asking for some small things here and there, sure, but not a whole day of work.
Yeah, but that's what I am saying. She shouldn't do it all the time. She probably never needed the help before, so she didn't ask you for it. 10 years is a long time, and a lot of things change in that amount of time. She is older and not as energetic or strong as she was before. Is it that big of a deal that you had one hard day? I'm not saying that it was the best day you ever had or anything, but you did do something good.
Fine. I will let this one slide. But I am not really happy about it, and I don't want her to think that she can do this all the time. I have plenty of stuff to do around here and with looking after Tom without getting called out to Fiona's house for a day of work.
I know that. She shouldn't be asking you for too much. That would be unfair. But I do think she kind of had a point in that she couldn't do the gardening by herself. Did she stay over for dinner yesterday or something? You said she stopped by, but what for?
Oh, no, she didn't stay for very long. But that's something else that I wanted to mention.
What now? Did she do something else?
I think she came by because she wanted to see Tom, but she got kind of angry or whatever when I told her that he was at a friend's house.
Why would she get angry about that? Where else was he supposed to be?
She seemed to think that he should have been at home doing his homework and not hanging out with friends on a school night. She started saying a lot of other things about how we're being soft and need to push him more to succeed and that sort of thing.
Really? I can't imagine her saying that. She has never really mentioned anything before about that sort of thing. She also hasn't ever told us how to raise Tom, has she? I definitely can't remember there being a time she said that.
Well, she did. She thinks that he needs to learn to do things that he doesn't enjoy so that he knows as early as possible what the world is like. She might not have said this sort of thing before, but she is starting to for God knows what reason. I told her that we're not going to do that and that he should be able to enjoy his childhood and create good memories with his friends.
Good. That's exactly what he should be doing. Once he grows up, there won't ever be coming back to being a child again. This is one time to enjoy it, and we have a responsibility as his parents to let him.
That's more or less what I told her, but she didn't agree. She thinks that he might be happy with us now, but then will resent us when he grows up and finds things hard because we didn't push him. I don't like that she is telling us how to raise our son. I mean, we do a good job and we know his needs better than she does.
You're right on that. I don't like it either. Anyway, let's just ignore what she says for now. I don't really want to get into a whole fight about it, but we definitely will not be doing whatever tough love idea she has in her head. Tom is our son and we will raise him how we think is best. Times aren't the same as when she was growing up or even raising me.
Okay, thank you. I am glad that we agree on this one. I think it could get sticky if she pushes it, though.
Let's just see what happens and hope that she doesn't. But I will talk to her if she starts being too forceful with that kind of thing. Now, how about you go and take a shower and I will start on dinner. You look like you need to take a moment to relax.
I need more than just a moment. But I will take your offer to make dinner.
Isn't it nice that we can all sit down to dinner like this? It's always great to be able to see my grandson. Tom, how is everything going at school? Are you keeping up with all of the work that they give you?
Yes, Grandma. It's not that hard, really. It would actually be more fun if they made it a little harder. Sometimes my friends and I do it together, and it doesn't take us that long.
Really? Maybe you should be doing it on your own so that you don't cheat from your friends' answers, then.
Working things out together isn't cheating. There is no reason that he has to do it all on his own.
But if he's getting help, then he might not be able to do it on his own.
He does it on his own most of the time. It's only sometimes that he does it with his friends. Isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah, we maybe do it together once a week. But I usually do it at home here. I am usually the one helping my friend out too. I think that math is really easy, but it's hard for him. When the teacher explains it, he can't understand. But then I tell him how to do it and he can figure it out a bit better.
Well, maybe it's not good for your friend then to always get help from you. One day he will have to do it all on his own. What if your teacher knew that you're doing it together?
You two don't need to worry about those sorts of things. The boys can do what they like and help each other. Helping others is important and it's the right thing to do. Isn't that right, Steve?
That is right. We always teach Tom that he needs to look out for others, especially his friends. If he can lend a hand with something, then he should do it with a smile.
And I do that! Plus, my teacher tells us to work together if we find something hard anyway.
The teacher is probably too lazy to teach the kids properly then and wants the kids to take over for them. I don't agree with the way teachers teach these days. They're too hands-off. Back in our day, the teachers were as strict as could be. If you didn't know something, you were humiliated until you could come back and do it right.
Well, thank God that we don't live in that sort of age anymore. Nothing good comes out of humiliating children for no reason.
Yeah, things have changed a lot. There is a lot more of a focus on support and building kids' confidence rather than strong-arming them into learning. And that's not the way that things should be. Too much babying of kids Tom's age will never lead to anything good. You mark my words.
Mom, I'm finished with dinner. Can I go?
Of course. Make sure to leave the plate in the sink, though. Don't just leave it on the table.
I know, Mom. I always do it. You don't need to tell me the same thing every time.
Okay. I just don't want you to forget about it.
Where is he off to now, then? Is he playing those damn games again?
It's fine, you know. He can play sometimes to relax. And he can talk to his friends through his mic as well.
But he is looking at that screen way too much. His eyes will go bad and he won't be able to get off of it. I've heard all about kids getting addicted to these video games and just sitting on their ass playing for hours on end.
Exactly. You should really take it away from him. It will be good for him. Do you really want him to be addicted to playing some stupid games when he could be doing something useful? Listen, there is no problem with Tom playing video games from time to time. I know that some children use their devices and play games too much, but we are very careful with Tom's screen time. We make sure that he isn't sitting in front of a screen too much, and even he himself doesn't want to do that. He would rather play outside or be with his friends.
You might think that he doesn't play that much, but how do you know that? He could do that when you're not looking. And what does he do when he is at his friend's house? He's probably playing games the whole time as well.
And so what if he is? He can do what he likes with his friends. What about the two of you? You're always sitting in front of a screen as well, aren't you?
Excuse me. What on earth are you talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about? We don't play any stupid games.
No, but you watch a lot of TV, don't you? What's the difference between that and Tom playing games?
Those are two completely different things. There is nothing wrong with watching TV. We can watch the news and listen to important information about the world. Is he doing that when he's playing whatever it is he plays? I don't think so. And we're not children who need telling what we can or can't do. We've lived long enough that we can decide on our own, thank you very much. Really? Trying to say that us watching TV is the same as your son playing some stupid games? I don't believe it.
I don't see too much difference between them. If he was watching TV instead of playing games, would you not have a problem with it?
That would depend on what he was watching. And then if he was still doing his homework or not, of course.
I told you that he does all of his homework just fine, and he told you the same thing just now. With all due respect, I would prefer it if you didn't tell us how we should raise our son. We have our own rules in our house, and that's what he follows. Playing games is fine as long as it's not more than a couple of hours a day and once he has done all of his schoolwork. After that, he has free time and can do whatever he likes with it. Within reason, of course, but he needs to make use of it as he likes.
Mark my words, this will not lead to anything good. You're setting your son up to fail in the future. Okay, guys, that's enough. Let's clean all these things up, shall we?
Do you see what she was like tonight? Just complaining about everything in regards to Tom and how we raise him. And this time your dad was joining in as well. She has him on her side, evidently. I thought he was always the more reasonable one.
Yeah, you're right. She was coming on pretty strong about it.
Then why didn't you say anything? I was the one having to defend what Tom was doing. You could have spoken up a bit more, don't you think?
I know that what she is saying is wrong, but I don't want to get into a fight with my parents when they're over for dinner. And it won't be good for Tom if he sees us arguing and yelling with his grandparents. I told you that we should just ignore what they say about it and raise Tom as we think is best. Why bother getting into fights about it? It will create more tension than is necessary, and I don't think it will really fix things either.
But they were saying these things in front of him as well. We need to stand up for him and defend him in that case. You heard what they said about him doing homework with his friends. They said he was cheating. He's helping a friend out and doing the right thing by him, and they say that he is cheating. And I am not telling you to get into a fight with them about it either. Just tell them what's what, and that can be the end of it. They are more likely to listen to you than to me.
Okay, I will admit that really wasn't something that they should have said. Tom would never cheat. He doesn't even need to. But the whole gaming thing is something that I can understand from their point of view.
What is that supposed to mean? You were the one who bought him that PlayStation and set the rules. Now what? You think that he shouldn't be allowed to use technology?
No, of course not. Don't put words in my mouth like that. I just meant I can see where they're coming from. Remember that they never had that sort of thing when they were growing up, and probably not even for a long time after that. They didn't have video games, and they didn't even exist in the first place. Now they're seeing all these kids playing games everywhere, and they think it's a bad thing because they can't understand it. I am sure that there will be things that we didn't have that we won't be able to understand in the future as well.
I guess you're probably right about that. But why can't they see that times have changed and that things aren't the same as they were when they were younger? It's annoying to have to explain that to them every time. And if they just don't understand something, doesn't mean that they have to be critical about it. They could just take it as it is and not say anything. Or even if they do think it's bad, that doesn't mean they need to open their mouths all the time about it.
I know. I really don't appreciate that they're saying that in front of Tom either. But let's just try to stop this from becoming too much of an issue, okay?
Fine. But I want you to speak up a bit more next time they do something like this, okay? Otherwise, I am going to be a lot more argumentative than I have been so far. Just tell them that we're in agreement on this and that will be better. If they hear it more from you than from me, I am sure they will listen more.
Okay, that sounds like a fair enough plan. I will do that next time they mention anything about Tom and what he does.
I hate to say this, but you were kind of right about my mother-in-law. She's getting worse and worse these days.
Really? That's not good to hear at all. What has she been doing?
First, she started bossing me around more, and I had to go over and do all of her gardening and cleaning and that sort of thing. It was just one time, but it was more than just asking for a little bit of help, you know? And now both her and her husband keep talking about how they're not happy with how we're raising Tom.
Really? That's a no-go, I think. He is your son, and you have the right to raise him how you think best. I understand the grandparents might have a say when it comes to some things if they really think it's bad, though. What kind of things are they unhappy about?
Look, I totally get that as well. I think grandparents should be involved where they can be. But they're being completely unreasonable. Fiona started saying that he shouldn't be going to his friend's house on a school night, and that he plays too many games even though we watch his screen time quite strictly. Not super strict or anything, but we limit it to a few hours a day.
That seems like the right way to go about it for me. Too much is definitely bad, but you can't completely ban it. Not in this day and age.
Exactly, but they don't seem to understand that at all. They just keep talking about how things were back in their day and that sort of thing. But it's like, this isn't back in your day. Things are different now. Tom does everything he needs to be doing in regards to his schoolwork and whatever else. There's nothing wrong with him relaxing a bit and having fun playing with his friends or gaming a little either.
I think you're completely right. What about Steve? What does he say about all of this? You have mentioned it to him, right?
Of course I have. They were even saying this stuff in front of him, too. He's being pretty neutral about it, though. He won't really say anything to them, but when we talk about it, he doesn't agree with what they say.
At least he isn't fully on their side. I have heard that often happens when it comes to fights with parents.
Yeah, but I would like him to be on my side a little more. He says that he just doesn't want to get into fights with them and blow things up into a bigger thing than they are. I totally get that point of view, too, but I would still like him to say something from time to time. He did promise to next time they were being critical, though. So there is that.
Let's hope that he keeps his promise, then.
I hope so. But I hope even more that Fiona and Gary chill out and leave us to raise Tom. I don't know why they have started being so nosy recently. They never really did this so much before.
Hey, work is sending me off again shortly. I have another favor that I need to ask you to do for me.
Let me guess, you want me to take Tom to basketball again?
Yeah, that's right. I will be gone over the weekend, same as last time.
That's fine. It was fun last time, just like you said it was. And I got to see some of the other parents who I don't see that often as well. I might even take this from you and start taking him every time instead of you.
Oh no, I won't let you do that. This is important father and son time between the two of us. We can both go, though. It's not like I don't think you should come with us. I just don't want to take away your free Saturdays.
I know. I was only joking. Maybe we can take him together every now and then, though. I am sure that Tom will like that as well. You know, having both of his parents watching him play. I don't really know what is good or bad in basketball, but he seems like he is doing really well.
He really is getting better and better. If you saw him when he first started like I did, then you would clearly see the difference between then and how he plays now.
I'm sure that I would. I will probably be able to see a difference even this Saturday compared to the last time I took him. It's been a few months since then. I am sure he has improved a lot in that time.
You're right. Knowing Tom, he definitely has. There is improvement almost every single time that he plays. Anyway, I will be leaving this Friday again and back sometime in the following week. I don't know yet for sure if it will be Tuesday or Wednesday.
Will you have the rest of the week off like you did the last time? To make up for your lost weekend?
I sure will. Let's see if we can go out for dinner one of those days. Or lunch, just the two of us while Tom is at school.
I would like that a lot. Okay, now go and wash up and get out of those sweaty clothes before you sprawl on the couch, got it? I don't want the whole living room smelling like sweat.
I don't smell that bad, Mom.
I know, I am just kidding. But still, go take a shower and I will start making something for you to eat.
Can I play a quick game first? I will finish that, eat, and then I can take a shower and get started on my homework.
You know that you're supposed to finish your homework before you play any games.
I know that, but just this once. Please? Just one round.
Okay, fine. You win. But only because you did so well today at basketball. Go for it, but only one round, okay?
Sure. Thanks, Mom.
I'll get started on lunch, though. Come to the kitchen when you're done.
Got it.
What's up? You're done already? There's no way it could be that quick, is there?
No, I didn't play yet.
Did you change your mind or something? Do you want to wait until after you eat?
No, but I can't find my PlayStation anywhere.
What do you mean you can't find it? It's always in the living room, isn't it?
Yeah, it was there this morning. I never take it anywhere or move it.
Are you sure it's not there? Where else could it be?
I don't know, but it's not there.
Did you take it to your room for any reason?
No. Why would I do that? I don't even have a TV in my room. I can't play without a TV.
Just check anyway. If it's not here, it has to be somewhere, and it being in your room makes more sense than anywhere else.
I looked, but it's not there. I knew it wouldn't be.
Let me take a look in the living room. You're probably just not looking properly.
It's not here. It should be right here. This is where I left it. The games are still here as well, but no PlayStation.
What is going on? Did someone break in while we were gone? But they wouldn't have just taken the PlayStation. The TV would have been taken as well, wouldn't it? And there are no signs of a break-in anywhere either. Okay, honey. Just go take a shower for the time being and we will figure this out later, okay? Don't get too upset about it. It will be fine. What the hell is going on? Sarah! Good evening! How is everything? Fiona, hi. Everything is normal, more or less. Something really strange did happen, though. Something strange? What could that have been? I took Tom to basketball today, and then when we came home, his PlayStation was gone. I thought that someone had broken in and robbed us, but there is no sign of that. And nothing else has been taken either. It's so strange. It's like it just disappeared into thin air. Oh, is that what you're talking about?
So you already noticed the favor that I did for you and Tom, then?
Excuse me? What do you mean you did us a favor? What are you talking about? Are you saying that you were the one who took it?
Yes, it was me. I used the spare key to come in and take it away. He was just playing on it too much for his own good.
Fiona! That's not what the spare key is for! You can't just come in whenever you want and take things. How could you steal your own grandson's belongings? Where is it now? You need to bring it back to us immediately!
Oh, we can't do anything like that. Then there would have been no point in taking it in the first place.
Tom is really upset right now, and he is very confused about what has happened, too. You can't do this to your grandson, and you can't break into our house like this either.
I didn't break in. Don't treat me like a criminal. I used the key that you gave me.
That key was for emergencies, not for you to come in and take things from our house whenever you wanted to.
In my eyes, this was an emergency. I could see my grandson wasting away in front of me playing those stupid games. It's going to ruin his brain and development. He might be upset now, but he will thank me for it later. Give him a few days and he will forget all about it.
We got that for him for his birthday. It's his and he won't just forget about it. You need to give it back. Hold on, you're at home right now, aren't you? I'm coming over to get it.
There's no point in you doing that either. We've thrown it away already. There's no reason to give it back to him.
What? Not only did you take it, but you threw it away as well? What the hell is wrong with you?
There is nothing wrong with me at all. I am just looking out for my grandson. I want him to grow up to be a proper human being and not have his brain rotted by some dumb games.
You need to come and apologize to him right now. He won't forgive you for this.
I am not doing anything of the sort. This is what is best for him. He will come to see that eventually.
This is crossing a line, Fiona. You can't just take these things into your own hands. I told you that we will raise him as we want to, and you don't get a say in it. You can't break into our house and take his things.
I am not going to apologize for doing the right thing. Good night now.
Fiona! Steve, we need to talk about this right now. I didn't want to text you while you were on a trip, but this is getting way out of hand.
What? What happened? What are you so worked up about?
Your mom! She stole Tom's PlayStation and threw it away!
What? That can't be right. That doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't, but she did it! When we came home from basketball, he went to play and it wasn't anywhere to be found. I thought that someone had broken in, but nothing else was stolen. Then your mom called me and told me that she was the one who took it. She used the spare key that we gave them for emergencies and took it so that it wouldn't rot his brain.
Jesus Christ, that's insane. Did they apologize at least? Are they going to buy him a new one?
Of course not! She said that she wouldn't apologize for doing the right thing. I can't deal with this anymore. I don't know what to do about them anymore. It's one thing to just say something every now and then about what they're not happy with, but to break in and steal something?
You're right. That's going too far. I will have to talk to them about it at some point.
For now, you need to go and talk to Tom. I don't really know what to tell him, but he's really upset.
Okay. Is he in his room?
Yeah, he hasn't left for a while.
Okay. I will talk to him. Hey, buddy. Can I come in?
Hi, Dad. Welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be home. I heard about what happened to your PlayStation. I'm really sorry about that.
You and Mom got that for me for my birthday. Why did Grandma take it from me?
I don't really know. She thinks that playing games is bad for you, I guess.
But I didn't even play that much. All of my friends play way more than I do.
I know. Look, we can't do anything about it right now. We can't get it back, but we will get you a new one. You still have all your games, don't you?
Yeah, the games and controller are still there. But I have my saved games on there. That means I have to start all over again even if I do get a new one.
I'm sorry, but there's not much else that we can do. Put up with it for a little while and we can go and get you a new one maybe this weekend, okay? What do you say? You can come with me and pick it out as well.
Okay, Dad. Thanks.
Thanks for having us all over. What a nice way to spend a Sunday. Of course, it's not a problem. This is Carl then, right? Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, this is Carl. Carl, this is my friend Sarah.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Wendy has mentioned you a lot. It sounds like the two of you go way back.
And same to you. Wendy talks about you all the time. It's nice to finally meet you in person.
I hope she has only been saying good things about me.
No need to worry about that. You two can go through to the back porch. Josie and Vanessa are here already. Wendy, do you mind introducing Carl to them while I get some stuff from the kitchen? No problem. Is Steve around as well? I feel like it's been years since I have seen him. Yeah, he's at the back with Tom. Go say hi. Wendy! Long time no see.
Hey, this must be your new boyfriend that you were talking about.
That's right, this is Carl. This is Josie, and the one over there is Vanessa.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
So, Carl, what do you do? Wendy told us that you met through a mutual friend, but she hasn't really told us too much more.
Oh, nothing too interesting, I am afraid. I am a software engineer. That sounds interesting. That means that you're good with computers and stuff, right? I guess you can say that. It's not as interesting as you might think, though. I mean, of course I like it, but it's probably very boring to everyone else.
What's everyone doing standing up? Take a seat! There are some beers in the fridge, or we have some wine as well if you like. I knew you would come through with the drinks. What about little Tom? Maybe he wants to try a beer? Come on, Wendy, he's only 10. Don't joke about that. Sorry. Steve, stop kicking that ball around and fire up the grill already. Everyone's here and I am sure that they're hungry. What is going on here? Sarah, what do you think you're doing? Fiona? Gary? What are you doing here? It doesn't matter what we are doing here. What on earth is going on? What are you talking about? We're just having a Sunday barbecue with some friends? What's the big idea? I don't know what else you could be talking about. You're all sitting around drinking in front of Tom. He's only 10 years old. Don't you think this is setting a bad example for him? Mom, calm down. There's nothing wrong with this. We're having a few drinks with some food and that's all. It's not like we're getting dead drunk.
And what if he happens to sneak a drink while no one is looking? Did you even think of that?
He's right here with us where we can see him, and he wouldn't do that even if he were alone. There's no way that you can know that! You two are setting a horrible example for your boy. He's going to grow up thinking that there's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol all the time. All the time? What are you talking about? None of us are big drinkers, and this is a once-in-a-while thing. And then why were we not invited to this get-together? Don't you think that your family should be invited before some friends of yours? You've been so disrespectful of us recently, I can barely wrap my head around it. Really? To have a barbecue and not even invite Gary and me? Mom, we're not doing this right now. We don't need to invite you to everything. This was something for us and our friends so that we could get to know Wendy's new boyfriend and relax on a Sunday. You two need to leave right now. You're going to kick us out? Us, your own parents. We're your parents. Kick out these other people instead. We invited them and you showed up out of nowhere just to complain again like you always do. Yeah, this isn't on. Mom, Dad, please leave right now. This is a disgrace! Drinking in front of your child, and then when we tell you that it's wrong, we're the bad guys. Maybe we made some sort of mistake when we were raising you as well, Steve. We didn't think you would be the kind of man to kick your own parents out of your house. Let's go, dear. It's clear that we're not wanted here. This is getting way too out of hand, Steve. What the hell was that today? I can't believe that they showed up and tried to get us to kick our friends out of our house. They treated us like we're just a bunch of alcoholics. And to suggest that Tom might be drinking while we're not looking? What the hell? I am just so angry at them. If you didn't ask them to leave, I think I would have just started screaming in their faces that they can't tell us how to live our lives.
Yeah, that's why I tried to get them out of there as soon as I could. Luckily, they left pretty easily. I don't know what I would have done if they had refused. I can't exactly force my mom and dad to leave physically, you know what I mean? But I have no clue what's going on in their minds right now. They have no right to do anything that they did. They've crossed the line by a big amount.
I can't do this anymore. We can't let them just walk all over us and try to control both us and our son. I don't even know if they care about Tom at all, or if they're just using him as an excuse to be able to criticize us and get involved in our lives.
I know. I am totally on your side about this. I never thought that they would do something like this. I feel really bad for all of the guests as well. They tried to act like not much had happened, but it was obvious the mood was ruined and there was a real awkwardness in the air.
And they obviously left much earlier than they would have otherwise. At least they're understanding to some extent. I don't know what I would have done if I was at a friend's house and someone tried to kick me out. I would probably be so embarrassed that I would just leave and not even try to pretend that everything was okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But they know us well and they can tell that we didn't want them to leave or anything.
But we really need to do something. This is worse than the PlayStation disaster, and that's really saying something.
I tried talking to them about that too. They didn't really budge on it, but I still sort of thought that they kind of understood that we weren't okay with them dictating things in our life. And obviously I mentioned that it wasn't okay for them to come into our house with the spare key. I had hoped that that would have been the end of all of these crazy things.
Yeah, well, it clearly didn't get through to them at all. It would have been nice if it worked, but it didn't. They still refuse to apologize for throwing away Tom's PlayStation. And if they have the nerve to come into our house uninvited and yell at our friends, then I'm scared of what they might do next. Things have been escalating more and more. Who knows what crazy idea is going to come into their heads next? We need to stop them from acting like this anymore. I can't bear it. And did you see Tom? I have never seen him look like that. I don't know what he felt at that moment, but it looked almost like he was disgusted with them. I don't even know if he fully grasped what was going on, but he wasn't happy to see them walk in, that's for sure.
I know. That shouldn't be how he reacts to seeing his grandparents. Kids should be happy to see their grandparents walk into the room, not be put off by them being there. Look, you're right. This is something that I really didn't want to do, but I think we have only one option left to us. I shouldn't have been so passive about it before, but I was just trying to avoid things from escalating. Now they have, and I shouldn't have tried to stop it from getting here earlier.
And what's this one option that you have in mind? The only thing that I can think of is just cutting all contact with them and getting them out of our lives for good. I know they're your parents, but they're really affecting our lives negatively.
I know that, and that is exactly what I was going to suggest. They might do something even worse next time, and I don't want that to happen. It's time for me to tell them to stay away from us and to stay away from Tom. We need to end things before they become even more extreme.
Thank you. I know this must be hard for you, but it's the only thing we can do. Can I leave it to you to take care of it?
Of course. They're my parents, so I should be the one to tell them. They probably wouldn't believe it unless they heard the words coming out of my mouth anyway. They're family, but so are you and Tom. And you and Tom are more important to me. I can't let them just act like this and get away with it.
Do you think that they will even listen? I mean, they still have the spare key and they could just come over whenever they want regardless of what you say to them.
They might think that I am not being serious at first. But if some time passes and I don't talk to them or reply to anything that they say, then I am sure that they will get the message. If it comes to it, and this is really going to be the last option, we might even have to get the police involved and ask to get a restraining order or a no-contact order written up. I don't want to have to do that to my own parents, but they're not really leaving us any choice. This is only if they do something more, though. I am not going to call the police or get a restraining order placed on them right now.
Of course not. I understand. Cutting them out of your life is hard enough as it is without getting the authorities involved before it's necessary. When are you thinking about talking to them about it? I don't want to push you too much, but the sooner the better.
I'm going to do it tomorrow if that's fine. I don't think that I really have the energy for it right now.
That's fine. Tomorrow is good. You should get an early night and rest up then. You do have work as well. Don't worry about any of the cleaning up. I can sort that out on my own.
Thanks. I think I will try and get to sleep pretty early tonight. Hi, Mom. I need to talk to you about something important. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Steve. It's unusual for you to call like this, though. What do you need?
We need to talk about what happened yesterday when you came to our house uninvited. Not only that, but a lot of other things that you have been doing recently.
What is there to talk about? Are you going to apologize to us for kicking us out, then? I was hoping that you would have called to do that yesterday. But it's better late than never, as they say. Go on, then. Let me hear it.
Don't get it wrong. I am not calling to apologize to you. Far from it, actually. There is nothing that I need to apologize for, but plenty that you should apologize for.
You're not calling to say sorry. Then why even bother calling me in the first place? I don't have anything that I need to say sorry for, and there is nothing that I regret doing either. Everything has been with Tom in mind. He needs to be set a good example by the adults in his life, and I don't think that has been happening. Especially when it comes to Sarah babying him and letting him play games all the time.
We have already told you that she doesn't let him play games all the time, and I was the one who bought him the games in the first place. Don't try and blame her for everything when none of it is her fault.
Typical. Of course you will defend her even when she is clearly in the wrong. But whatever. I don't want to waste my breath trying to get you to see the truth about it. What do you want, then? Get it out already.
I don't want you or Dad to come over anymore. Or to talk to either me, Sarah, or Tom. The way that you have been acting has been completely unacceptable. You keep trying to make us change the way we treat Tom, even though your suggestions seem more cruel than anything else. And then you broke into our house and stole his things. He was incredibly upset about that. Even then, we were able to try and look past that and ignore what you were doing for the most part. But after what you did yesterday, that is no longer possible. You tried to humiliate us in front of our friends, and then kick them out of our house. You have no right to behave in that sort of way. I don't want anything more to do with either you or Dad, who seems to support you in all this. That's all I wanted to say.
What? You can't be serious right now! I am your mother! Tom is my grandson! You can't stop me from seeing him! That's not right!
He is your grandson, but I don't think he really wants to see you in any case. You lost the right to see him when you started acting up this year like you have been. This is the only way for our family to have some peace of mind away from you.
I know that you can't really mean this. It's Sarah, isn't it? It's that good-for-nothing who has put you up to this. Listen to yourself for a second, Steve. Your wife is asking you to cut your own parents out of your life. Can't you hear how crazy that sounds? Are you really going to let her do that to our family? You should be getting rid of her instead. She has always been useless anyway.
Don't you dare say that about my wife. She is nothing of the sort. And she was not the one who put me up to this. This was my idea in the first place. She agrees with me, of course, but I was the one who suggested that we cut you off. And even from your reaction, I can already see that I have made the right choice. I won't be asking you again, Mom. Leave us alone and live out your life with Dad. That's the only thing left for you to do. If you try anything funny, then I will have to get the authorities involved, and that is something that I don't want to have to do.
The police? You're going to try and get your own mother arrested? What has that idiot woman been saying to you? She's putting insane ideas into your head. This won't stand. I need you to do something about this before it's too late.
You don't need to do anything except leave us alone. Goodbye, Mom. We won't be seeing each other again.
Steve! Don't you dare leave it like this! This isn't over! Don't you do this to me! Sarah! What have you done? Steve called me and told me that he wants us out of his life! What did you say to him? How did you manage to convince him to go along with this plan of yours? I know that you must have been planning this for a long time. I noticed a change in you a while back that told me that you were up to no good. I won't let you get away with this. There has to be something that I can do to convince Steve that he is doing the wrong thing.
I am sure that he will wake up eventually and see the truth of what you are doing right now. Just you wait until that happens. Then you will see.
Just listen to yourself, Fiona. You've completely lost the plot. No one was planning anything. I didn't tell Steve to do anything. I didn't put any ideas in his mind. The only person that did that was you by the way that you were acting. He saw how crazy you have become and decided that enough was enough. And if anyone has changed in the past while, it has been you. You have become ever more demanding and controlling, trying to tell us how to raise Tom.
Everything that I ever said was always for Tom and his development. How can you not see that the way I do things will be better for him?
I don't think that's true at all. You talk as though it's because you care about him, but you never take his feelings into account. He's still just a kid. He needs to have some freedom and play with his friends and to relax. We're not going to try and teach him the way the world really is or whatever it is that you think you were doing.
The world can be a cruel place, Sarah. Are you so naive that you can't even see that? The sooner he learns about that, the better. Otherwise, he will be in for a nasty surprise later down the line. Is that what you want? For your son to be met with reality completely unprepared?
Whether he does or not is something that will happen in the future, but he doesn't need to find that sort of thing out from his family acting cruelly towards him. If the world is a cruel place, then it's up to us to be kind and support him through it. But you can't see that for some reason. And I am not going to stand by and watch you act like this towards my son and ruin his childhood. Steve and I are doing the best that we can, and what we are doing is better for Tom than what you want from us. You have no right to dictate and command like you have been doing. It was something we could ignore for a while, but this is out of hand now, and we have told you what we are going to do.
You can't stop me from seeing my grandson. This is unfair. I am his grandmother. Do you want him to grow up without his grandparents around?
He still has another pair of grandparents, my parents, and he loves them and they love him. Even with you gone, I am sure he will be fine.
I know that you turned Steve against me. You need to tell him now to take back what he said. I still think that I was in the right, but I will stop telling you what to do if you let me see Tom. I can't be without my only grandson.
You should have thought about that before you started acting completely unhinged. And I told you before that I didn't turn anyone against you. You turned Steve against you yourself. He was all for ignoring you and not trying to start any fights or arguments until yesterday. That changed everything because he was able to see firsthand how you really have been behaving. Before, you were lucky enough that he had always been away when you did something and never saw the full extent of it. That's not the case anymore. We have made our decision and you need to live with it.
You can't stop me from seeing Tom. You simply can't. I still have your spare key as well.
Oh, I forgot about that for a second. You can come by sometime and drop it in our post box. Of course, make sure you don't come up to the house, though. We don't want you here. I'm sure that Steve already told you that we will get the police involved if you try to do anything crazy. We don't want to have to do that, but we will if you try to insert yourselves into our lives again. You have brought this upon yourself, Fiona. Now what happens next is up to you. You can accept this and leave it at that, or fight it and get the police involved. I think we both know that there is only really one choice here. I hope you make the right one. After that, Fiona and Gary came by a few times knocking on our door to try and get us to change our minds. We ignored them until they went away and hoped that they would finally get the message. Unfortunately, they didn't seem to understand how serious we were about this and kept coming back every now and then or trying to call us and sending us texts. We really didn't want to have to get the police involved. But then once, Tom said that Fiona came to his school and tried to get him to come home with her after classes were over. Luckily, Tom was aware of what was going on and went back into the school and waited with one of his teachers until she left. Then the school called me and I came to pick him up. That really was the last straw, and we got the police involved to serve her a restraining order. It might have been more difficult to get the judge to approve it had she not tried to get Tom after school. But with that and the fact that she had come into our home without us knowing by using the spare key, the judge ruled in our favor and we got a restraining order. Steve has told me that from time to time, she still tried to send him texts apologizing. But he ended up blocking her to put an end to that altogether. It's crazy to think how much Fiona changed in quite a short span of time. She had been a little bossy before and complained about this or that, But it had always been small things and nothing too serious came of it. But then she really went off the rails by trying to tell us how to raise our son. That is something that I simply could not accept from her. Now, because of her own actions, she has to accept the fact that she will not see her grandson grow up. This wasn't at all what I had wanted to happen to either her or Gary, but this had to be the way it ended up. Of course, Tom is free to go and see her if he wishes once he grows up. At that point, he will be old enough to make decisions for himself, and if he chooses to reconnect with them, then I will not stand in his way. But having said that, I really doubt that he would want to. He doesn't want to now, and as time passes without seeing them, the likelihood of him wanting to see them will grow less and less. For the time being, he is still playing basketball and going to school as normal, while being supported by his other loving grandparents from my side.
Hey, my beautiful daughter-in-law, could you send me around $500 later today, please? I kind of need the money in a hurry. It's basically an emergency, so could you just send it over quick?
Oh, hey, Bob. What happened this time? Why do you need the money? I feel like this is becoming a regular occurrence.
Well, I don't really want to say why I need the money. Can't you just hand it over?
Well, $500 isn't really an amount that I can just send over. Tell me why you need it. It feels like you've been asking me for money like this way too often.
Okay, fine then. Well, I kinda need it to play this game that I'm really into right now. Please, could you just send the money over? If I'm not, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Wait, that's the reason why you want money from me today? For an online game? I don't think I'm going to be sending you any money unless it's an emergency. This definitely isn't a reason for me to be helping you out financially.
Well, it is an emergency. I think I'm gonna get a panic attack from the anxiety remembering that my wife is gone forever. Gaming is one of my only escapes from this cruel, cruel life. This cruel life is just gonna swallow me into darkness if you don't do this for me. That's why I need the money. Are you happy now?
Well, I guess if it helps you overcome your loss, then... However, promise me that this will be the last time you ask me for money like this, okay? Only when you actually need it. Okay, there. I went to the bank and sent the money over to you. Check your account balance.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. You're the absolute best. I'm already starting to feel so much better. Hey, Jesse, are you there? Let me know immediately if something has happened to you. I'm starting to get really anxious about all of this. Call me as soon as possible.
Oh, hey, Bob. I'm sorry, but I was in a meeting for work about a new project that we're starting. What's wrong, by the way? It sounds like you're in a panic. Did something happen? Is there an emergency?
Yes, something has happened. It's an absolute huge emergency, too. It's the 27th, and I still haven't received any money from you this month. You've never missed a payment, so I thought you must have gotten into an accident or something. I need you to send over the financial support if you're not in trouble.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I was too busy to yesterday, and that's why it probably still hasn't arrived. I actually went to the bank during lunch break today and put in a transfer. However, since it was after 3, the money's probably not going to reach you until tomorrow.
Wait, so you're telling me that you forgot to do it yesterday? How could you? That's a little inconsiderate, you know? I wish that you'd remember these kinds of things.
Wait, why is that wrong? I told you I already went to the bank today. The money is coming tomorrow. If there's a big emergency, let me know and I can try to see what I can do. It does sound like you're really panicking about something.
Okay, well fine then. It's not really that big of an emergency. I just had dinner plans tonight and the money would have been nice to have. I invited a few of my friends for a nice steak and some beers. You know, a guy's night out type of thing. I was just really hoping I'd have the money, but I guess now I can't go. I also wanted to buy a new video game that was just released today too. Now I can't do that either.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it wasn't anything important then. I'm sure you can ask your friend to spot you or something. Are you really out of money already? What happened to the $2,700 we gave you last month? That's a pretty large amount of money to be handing over to you as financial support, you know.
It's all gone already. Why are you even asking me this? Do you not know how little $2,700 gets you in this day and age? It's basically gone within a week if I'm not careful about how I spend my money. You try and go out for drinks every Friday and see how far this kind of money lasts you. It's not my fault that the money you give me just gets sucked away. I'd like a little more, if anything.
Inflation is hitting us all pretty hard, you know. However, $2,700 is still $2,700. Considering you live alone, that should be more than enough to last you a full month. In fact, it should be enough so that you can save up a little of it towards your future. I have no idea how you managed to get through it so quickly. Have you tried, I don't know, cutting down on all your nights out? I really hate to say this because you're my father-in-law and I hate being preachy about money, but that money is for living expenses. It's also to pay for your medical expenses, for when you need to go to the hospital.
Oh, stop telling me what I can and I can't spend money on. Going out for drinks and buying video games are part of my living expenses. They're things that I can't live without after all. Don't judge me, by the way. You know no idea what I'm going through, Jess. Back when my wife was still alive, I still had the motivation to work and actually earn money. I used to earn more than double what you're giving me every month right now. I can't be bothered to do any of that now. I was fired from my well-paying job and my wife is gone. My current job pays like crap, so I need you guys to give me money. Do you know what it's like to have your quality of living cut in half?
I know that, Bob. It's just that I don't think you should be making light of the fact that I'm still giving you $2,700 every month. That's a lot of money to me and Justin. I wish you'd be a little more careful with how you spend it. It's a large chunk of the money that we earn together. I just want you to know that.
Oh, stop trying to act all high and mighty about this. It's only $2,700. That's not a lot of money at all, Jess. Bless your heart. I know you come from a poor family, but come on. A few $1,000s is no lavish sum of money. I wouldn't complain if you were handing over $5,000 a month, but you're not.
I didn't grow up in that poor of a family, you know. Also, that would be a ridiculous amount of money to be spending as financial support.
Enough about you. Think about me for a second. How would you feel if you suddenly had to get by on half your normal income? I think it would only make sense that I'm running low on funds.
I mean, I'd probably try to budget and get by with what I had. I wouldn't complain about my situation like this, I don't think. You own your house, so it's not like you're paying any rent either. $2,700 is more than enough to make a living. I really don't think that I'm wrong about this at all. You should stop going on all these spending sprees.
Oh my God, do you think I want to spend that much money every month? Ever since I lost my wife, everything in my home reminds me of her. It's painful for me to even stay there. Distracting myself in the company of my friends or playing games is the only way I can cope with the grief. It's like therapy. I can't live without it. I don't expect you to understand my pain since you're happily married to my son, but at least allow me to have joy in my current life.
Listen, Bob, I'm sorry for your loss. I really mean it. Justin misses his mom too. I know that she meant a lot to your family. I didn't mean to minimize your grief or suffering you may be going through. I just still think that $2,700 is a very generous amount to be giving away, and I can't really understand what you're spending it on. Even drinks and games shouldn't be bringing the total up that high.
Oh, please, would you just shut up about this? Whose fault do you think that this is anyway? It's your fault that this is happening right now. Remember when I asked you to both move in with me? I even told you that you wouldn't have to give me any financial support if you guys moved in with me. However, you rejected my generous offer.
Well, we explained why we couldn't move in with you at the time. The issue is that it's uncommon, and frankly a little absurd, that you were assuming that we're going to be sending you so much financial support in the first place.
Jess, how could you say that to me? You're almost making it sound like I'm the one in the wrong here. I gave you the option, didn't I? If you guys moved in with me, this could have all been avoided. Stop trying to blame this on me and think about sending me more money from now on.
And I appreciate you giving us the option, but ultimately, it's not that we don't want to move in with you. It's that we couldn't. We did consider the option, but it was never going to work out. Justin and I both work full-time, and we couldn't afford to live out that far. The commute would have been ridiculously expensive, and it would have taken way too much time to drive to work. Also, you kind of refused to compromise by moving somewhere closer. We even suggested a nice location in the city close to our workplace, but you said no.
Well, it's still a choice that you guys ended up making. Think of it as buying your freedom from me for only $2,700. Compared to some of my friends, you two have it easy. You should be thanking me, if anything.
Well, I guess you could think of it that way.
It's fine, Jess. I'm not angry at you. Don't worry about it. I'll take some money out of my secret stash and pay for my own dinner tonight. Just make sure the money's in my account by the 26th from now on. Okay, Jess? If it's late again, I'm gonna be a very angry man.
Okay, Bob. I'll try to be more careful in the future then.
Jess, you need to help me out right this moment. Do something about your idiot husband. What he's trying to do to me is absolutely unacceptable.
What's the matter, Bob? What did Justin do to you exactly? You sound especially angry today.
I can't believe him. We got into an argument and he said he was going to reduce the amount of financial support you guys send me every month.
Oh, that's what you're angry about? I just got off the phone with him about that, actually. I think that I'm going to be siding with him regarding this.
So that rat bag told you about what happened already. You're also going to be siding with him? Did you guys plan this out together in advance or something? You know what? I'm sure this was your idea in the first place, actually. It has to be that you did this to me. My son is a great guy, so he would never do such a thing to me.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't have anything to do with this initially. This idea was his, and it was his decision to talk to you about it. Stop trying to blame me for something that I had no part in.
You are lying. There's no way that's true. I know my son. He would never do something like that to me. I don't know if you're aware, but I get along very well with him. He would never intentionally do something like this.
No, I assure you, Bob. This was his idea. I really had nothing to do with it.
Okay then, even if what you say is true, why didn't you try to stop him? That's what a married couple should be doing too, preventing each other from making poor decisions. It's obviously a terrible idea to reduce the amount of financial support that I receive from you guys. You should have told him that this was such a bad idea immediately.
I want to try and be supportive of whatever he wants to do, and I actually kind of agree with him on this matter. And besides, it's not really my place to say anything. This is a matter between father and son.
Jess, please, would you still support him if he told you he'd take up chain smoking? That wouldn't be a good idea, right? Do you really think he's making the right decision here? Obviously not. Do you remember what I told you last time? I'm still grieving over my dead wife. I can't be without that money. I'm at my wits' ends right now. I need support from my son and my lovely daughter-in-law. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to continue living. You need to go and talk to him right now and convince him otherwise.
Well, the last time we talked, you mentioned you were distracting yourself from your grief by going out with friends, right? That was how you were coping, wasn't it?
Exactly. See? You do get it. If you understand that, then you should know exactly what to say to him. Please go and talk to him right now and make sure that he understands that I need the financial support. The more the better for me.
I understand what you're going through, and I understand that we all cope with grief in different ways. It's just that $2,700 is a lot for Justin and I. We talked about this last time, too. It's not in our best financial interest to keep sending you that money. You know, I don't want to say too much, but the reality is that we're barely scraping by as is. That's why I think it's a good idea that we're going to be cutting down on the money we send you.
If that's the case, you should have said something at the very beginning of all of this. I'm an understanding guy. I'm sure I would have been okay. Now I'm used to living this lifestyle. I can't just go back now. I didn't even force you guys for the financial support at the start.
Really? I mean, you did push us pretty hard in the beginning, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's just me being me. Justin knows. I can be pushy and rude sometimes, but I don't really mean any of it. It's just how I come off to people. Anyway, Jess, we have a problem to sort out. Why are you guys trying to lower the amount of money I get? You guys can't even afford to park with $2,700 a month? I thought that you were making the big bucks over there. Both of you work a full-time job too. Tell me how much you make.
I don't want to be rude, but frankly, what I make is none of your business. And besides, $2,700 is $2,700, no matter what you do. I work very hard to earn this money so that I can support my family. I really don't like having to send you a portion of it when you just waste it away.
We're family too now, aren't we? Who do you think let Justin marry you in the first place? Honestly, you should be thanking me. I'm his father. He wouldn't be the kind of guy he is now if it weren't for me.
Again, I have no problem supporting you financially a little bit if you're struggling, but I've really never heard of anyone else giving their in-laws this much money. Also, it seems like you're just spending money on so many unnecessary things. You use a lot of money on in-game items on your online games, right? That's definitely something that's so unnecessary. Also, cutting down on your drinking would be a good start, too. Could you at least tell us how much of the money goes towards actual living expenses?
Wait, I don't understand why you're telling me all of this. You're making it sound like I was doing something wrong. You and Justin make a decent amount of money together. Sharing is caring, you know? Did your mother never teach you that?
I mean, yeah, I get that. We've been supporting you financially all this time, have we not? It was only meant to be a temporary thing anyway. I have no idea why you're assuming that.
Jess, please, think about what's going to happen in a few months here. Lily's getting soon married and moving out as well, so not only will I have lost my wife, I'll have lost my dear daughter as well. I'll have one less person to rely on. Imagine my grief then. How many nights out will it take to cure me of that, do you think? I need more money from you guys.
Hold on, Bob. Please, just hold on a sec. I don't like where this conversation is headed. It almost sounds like you want more money from us. That's 100% not happening. You know that, right?
Wait, why not though? Justin is my boy, you know. I'm the one that raised him. I'm sure if I go begging to him about this, he'll cave in right away. Do you really think Justin will take your side if I force him to choose? I wonder what you will do in that case. You said you want to support him no matter what he does, right? Do you understand what I'm getting at? You guys are going to end up giving me extra financial support eventually. You might as well make that moment right now.
Do you understand what I'm getting at? We will not be sending you any more money. And what are you even saying, Bob? I just told you Justin wanted to reduce the amount we give you every month. What makes you think he would agree to send more? It doesn't matter if you're the one that raised him. That's irrelevant to this conversation.
I mean, I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Well, let's just leave it at that for now. Hopefully you won't be eating your words anytime soon. Justin's coming to help plan out Lily's wedding, so I'll talk to him then. We'll see what happens after that. I'm sure he's going to be changing his mind about this entire thing very soon. Hey, Jess, I have something I want to talk to you about. So, I just had dinner with Lily and her fiancé. We were having some food, some drinks. Yeah, it was a good time. I really enjoyed the night until something happened. Lily suddenly came up to me, and guess what she said?
I don't know. What did she say?
Hey, you're no fun. Try and guess. I'm asking you a question, you know?
Okay. I mean, can you at least give me a hint? You've literally given me no information and told me to guess. It could be anything. Could you just get to the point if you have something to say to me?
Fine, you darn party pooper. You are so boring at times. Anyway, she told me that she was going to move out after she got married. Can you believe that? How ungrateful can she be? Who do you think provided for her all these years? I can't believe that she's going to be moving out like this.
So she told you she was going to move out? Is that it? She's an adult now. It's kind of an obvious choice to make, isn't it?
No, far from it. That's not the worst part. The worst part is that she said she's going to live with his parents. Both his fiancé's parents are alive and they're pretty well off to boot. Who do you think needs more help around the house? Me or them? Unbelievable, right? Why are they both going to go live over there? It is not fair on me at all.
I mean, it's kind of their choice, you know? That's between Lily, her fiancé, and his parents to decide. If they've come to this decision, then it shouldn't matter to you. I hate to say it, but you really don't have a say in the matter, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to move on with life without her living with you.
Excuse me, Jess? Just whose side do you think you're on? Why are you making it sound like this is totally fine?
I'm not on anybody's side. I'm just telling you how I feel about this situation.
And wait until you hear about this. His parents know about my situation too. His parents know that I've lost my wife and that I live alone. They know that I need help, and yet they still won't do anything to help me out at all. Don't you think that this marriage has failed before it even started, do you? Their entire family is just full of selfish human beings.
I can't say I know anything about that. What I do know, though, is that her fiancé works a stable job at a very respectable company. I also know that he is very kind to Lily. If you ask me, they make a great couple. I really don't think you should be doing anything to try to disrupt their lives as newlyweds.
What are you talking about, Jess? A stable job? Being kind to her? That's the bare minimum she should be getting out of that relationship. That's not the problem here. The problem is that everyone's ditching me to go elsewhere. There's also more tragic problems too.
Okay. Then I assume you're about to tell me what the tragic problem is?
Well, the biggest problem is they said they wouldn't be supporting me after they move out. I was absolutely furious when I got told this.
Bob, please, hold on just a sec. Let me get this straight. You asked Lily to send you money as well? Even though you're already receiving plenty of financial support from us?
Well, of course I'm asking for some. Why shouldn't I? She's my daughter, so it makes sense for her to be supporting me. It wouldn't be fair to you guys if you were the only one supporting me financially. I'm doing this for you. I'm kidding, but on a serious note, Lily's getting married, which means she's going to be more financially stable. There's no harm in sending some of that excess cash flow to me, is there? I can put it to better use than they can, for sure.
Okay, listen, Bob. We're already supporting you financially. You really shouldn't get Lily involved in this, please. You know she quit her job to marry him, right? I don't think she'll be able to help you out. Plus, she's still in her 20s. You shouldn't be putting this kind of responsibility on her.
What does age have to do with any of this? Also, I'm not asking her to send me money. I'm asking her future husband to send me money. Considering how much he makes, it shouldn't be a big deal for either of them. When you marry the person, you marry their money as well. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be able to use his money as she likes. I'm just asking her to send me a little bit of that money. It's no big deal.
Yes, it is true that shared finances are an important aspect of marriage, but that's strictly between husband and wife. You're just her father. That's all. You really shouldn't be asking this of them. What they decide to do with their money is their choice. None of it is obligated to you.
Okay, fine. If you want to get all philosophical on me, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? If you want me to stop bothering Lily for money, you can just pay me what she was supposed to. Let's see. I need some more money on top of what you already pay me. How about $5,500 then? I think that's about the amount of money I could do with every month.
Did you say $5,500? So you basically want to double what we're currently giving you?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm asking you to do. Each side of the family should be contributing the same amount. How fair of me, don't you think?
You were seriously considering asking Lily for $2,700 a month as well then?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was planning on doing. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? In fact, I did ask, and she said no. Can you believe it? What an ungrateful child. Since you were so kind as to be willing to help pick up her slack, you can take her responsibility. Give me $5,500 from now on.
You can't be serious about this, can you? There is no world where I'd be willing to just hand you that much money every month.
Why not, though? What happened to all that big talk earlier? I thought you were trying to be a good sister-in-law and look out for poor little Lily. If you want to help her out, I'm afraid the only way you can do that is by sending me the money she would have owed me.
Why does it feel like I'm talking to a brick wall? Bob, you need to please listen to me. I told you, and I'm not telling you again. We cannot afford to keep giving you money like we do now. We were originally talking about reducing the amount of money we give you. I have no idea why you're suddenly asking me for more.
Huh? Why not? You both make about $9,000 a month combined, right? You two can live off $4,000 a month, can't you? My wife and I lived off much less than that back in the day. What do you need all that money for?
Okay. If we go by your logic, you should be able to live off $2,000 a month since you live alone. We've been handing you more money than you would have needed.
Why are we talking about me all of a sudden? I'm talking about you two. And besides, I need that money for important reasons.
You can't just say reasons and expect me to believe you. I'm sorry, but we cannot afford to give you any more money, and that is our final decision. Listen, I don't like having to say this, but do not talk to me about this ever again. If you ask again, we will stop helping you out completely.
Jess, you can't be serious. So you don't care at all if I live or die? How could you guys abandon me like this? Jess, what the hell is going on? Why are you just ignoring me now? Are you still there? Reply to me right now. Hi, Jess. I wanted to talk to my dear daughter-in-law about something. Is this a good time for you right now?
I'm at work right now, but I can talk for a bit. What is it, Bob?
Excellent. Oh, I knew I could count on you. So you know how I've been kind to you these past few months?
You've been kind to me? How? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, I've been putting up silently with the small amount of financial support you guys send me every month. I've been such a good father-in-law, haven't I? I haven't said a single word to you about this.
Did you just say small amount?
Well, since I've been so nice to you, I was thinking you could do me a little favor in return.
Again, I don't think that it's a small amount we're giving you.
Whatever, enough about that. I do think it is a small amount, though. Anyway, as you should know, Lily's wedding is coming up soon. I just wanted to ask what your plans for the wedding gift were.
The wedding gift? Well, we're planning to get her something, but we haven't completely decided yet.
Do you think that you could just give her some cash instead? Preferably more than $10,000 in cash would be nice. That is the bare minimum I'd ask from you.
I'm sorry. Say that again? Did you just say $10,000?
Indeed, $10,000 is exactly what I said. I mean, how could you not give her that much? My one and only daughter is getting married. What kind of a father would I be if I didn't help her receive lots of wedding gifts?
I'm sorry, but where are you getting that number from? I've literally never heard or seen anyone give a cash gift over $10,000 at a family wedding. That is an absolutely ridiculous amount. In fact, I think it's kind of weird to just be handing over money as a wedding gift, too.
Wait, really? $10,000 is too much for you? $10,000 should be like the very bare minimum you give her.
You're being ridiculous if you really mean all this. I mean, okay, I'm not one to judge your cultural traditions. We all come from different backgrounds, and that's a wonderful thing. But let's assume what you said is true for a second. If me, the sister-in-law, is giving $10K, that means you, father, is giving more than that, right?
How would that be appropriate? I've basically fully retired already. It's not my responsibility to be handing out money like that. I don't have an income. How could you possibly expect me to contribute anything? That means I'm excused from having to give her anything.
Are you serious? So you're trying to force just us to give her money as a gift? Why, though? It's not even going to you.
Well, I'm dead serious. I mean, how do you expect me to save up any money to give her? It's her special wedding day, so I want someone to give her some money to help pay for the wedding. I definitely can't do that. At least not with the amount of money you give me to live with. There's also nothing left from my wife's estate either, so that's a no-go either.
Wait, what did you just say? How? Where did that money go? I thought she had a decent amount in her estate, as her parents passed down a large amount to her.
What do you mean, where did it go? She left me some money, and now that money is gone. I spent it, obviously. Come now, even Lily wouldn't ask me such a dumb question. Anyway, what kind of father would I be if I didn't give my daughter a single dollar on her most blessed day? If you really wanted to make things right, you could give her another $10,000 in my place.
I'm sorry, what? Nothing that you're saying is making any sense at all. Are you drunk again or something?
Wait, no. I'm her father. She'd be so disappointed if I gave her the same amount as you. How about $20,000 instead, then? Yeah, $20,000 sounds good to me, don't you think?
Let me get this straight. You want me to give her money on your behalf? You're really not making any sense at all. I'm just gonna get her some accessories or something as a wedding gift.
Wait, you can't do something like that. I need to make a good impression on her by giving her money. I've got to contribute more than her fiancé's parents do. Then they might decide they want to live with me instead. Oh, you're a successful woman. You can scrounge up $20,000 for me, right?
What are you going on about, Bob? Stop going on about this ridiculous idea of yours. There's not a chance in hell that I'm going to be providing you with $20,000. And even if I could, I wouldn't be giving it to you so that you can gift it to your daughter. Just how shameless can you be?
Don't talk to me like that, Jess. You need to know your place, woman. I am the father of your husband. Do you really think this marriage is going to last if you disobey me? Who do you think is in control of this marriage?
What are you trying to say? Are you threatening me or something?
Oh, now you want to play dumb. Fine, I'll say it loud and clear so that even an idiot like you can understand. If you continue being a bad wife and continue not listening to me, I'll make sure that Justin gets a divorce from you. He is my boy, so he's obviously gonna listen to what I tell him to do.
Wow. Just wow. You're unbelievable. I've tried to be nice to you. I've tried to deal with you as best as I could, but you are absolutely delusional. Neither me or Justin intend on leaving each other, but you can sure as hell try. This conversation is over. I am not going to be doing anything to help you out. You can deal with the wedding gift yourself. You really need to stop being so delusional about everything.
You're calling me delusional? Just who do you think you are? You are showing your true colors now, aren't you? You know what? Don't even try show up to Lily's wedding. I'll see to it that you get rejected at the door. She doesn't need a home wrecker like you in her life.
That is not up to you to decide. That is Lily's decision, and you are not Lily. I'm sure that she'd want me at her wedding. Anyway, are you done saying what you want to say to me? If you'll excuse me now, I have work to do.
Come back here right this instant. We are not done talking yet. I need you to give me that money so that I can please them. They might choose to move in with me instead. Are you there, Jess? Why aren't you answering me? Jess, damn it. Jess, what the hell is happening? The reception staff wouldn't let me into the wedding venue. What is going on? Explain yourself right now, Jess. Good. It seems like the venue staff are doing their job then. My sister and I asked the wedding organizers to put you on a blacklist. You can turn around and leave because you will not be making it past the door. What did you just say? You said my sister and I? Who is this that I'm talking to? Is it not Jess? I thought that this was her number. I know you were hoping to text my wife, but unfortunately, you have to deal with me now. You know who this is, right? Wait, what? Justin? Is that you? What are you doing on her phone? I texted Jess because I wanted to talk to Jess. Give the phone to Jess right now. I would have texted you if I wanted to talk to you. Sorry, Dad, but Jess will no longer be speaking with you. She is too nice for her own good. I'm sure she would still humor you if you messaged here, so I'm stepping in to make sure that never happens again. In fact, neither of us will be talking to you again. We want to have nothing to do with you from now on. Don't bother talking to me or ever coming to see me. Justin, what are you talking about all of a sudden? It almost sounds like you're trying to cut ties with me or something. No, there's no way that's true, right? What's going on? Talk to me, please. It has recently come to my attention that you've been contacting Jess in secret. If I didn't happen to check her phone one day for something, I would have never known. She kept all the nasty, selfish things you said to her to herself and never said a word about it to me. I looked over her chat history. I know everything now. So that's it. I'm putting my foot down. I no longer want you as part of my life. What are you talking about, Justin? You're making no sense right now, son. Now, stop messing around with me like this and hand the phone to Jess. How dare you take advantage of the fact that Mom died and the fact that I was going through a career change to ask Jess for money? You went to her because you knew I would have told you no. I can't believe that you were trying to force her to give you even more money than what we've already been giving you. Whatever could you possibly mean, son? I would never do anything like that. I wasn't forcing her to do anything at all. Do you want me to spell it out for you then? You knew that Jess was kind. You knew that she would give you anything you wanted as long as you asked for it. She thought you were grieving, for crying out loud. How could you? How could you use Mom's death like that? I can't believe that you were doing something like this. That all ends today. We're both going to be cutting ties with you completely. I still have no idea what you're talking about. I would never disrespect your mother like that. Cut it out. I heard you even asked Lily for financial support as well. Is that true? Yes, that's true. But there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Her fiancé is so rich. What's wrong with asking for a little pocket change?
I don't get why you seem to be fine with asking your children for money like this. Why do you think we work so hard? Do you think we work hard just so that you can have fun? Why do you feel entitled to our money? I don't get it. Just because we're family? I'd like to remind you that Jess is your daughter-in-law, and neither is Lily's husband. Leave them out of this. Stop trying to depend on your children-in-law for money like this. It's just embarrassing.
So what if they're my in-laws? They married my kids. That means they're a part of my family now.
Even if they are, what makes you think that gives you the right to demand money from them? Do you know how embarrassing it is for us, as your children, to have to constantly make excuses for you? I am tired of it. I'm not doing it anymore. I am absolutely done with you.
What did you just say about me? Did you call me embarrassing? Are you saying you're ashamed of your own father? Oh, how dare you? Just who do you think raised you and clothed you and fed you all those years? Whose roof did you live under?
Mom was the one that raised us. She also worked a full-time job while doing all the housework. She's the one we're grateful for.
Well, what about me then? I was working as well, you know.
What are you talking about? It was because of Mom that we had enough money to get by. She worked hard so that her kids could have a good life. You should have been embarrassed by yourself as the man in the family. She was earning more than you on top of all the duties that she already had.
Well, there were reasons for that. She just got lucky with some promotions. I also did some occasional chores around the house, too.
Chores? Don't make me laugh. Your memory must be extremely selective, because do you remember what you told me back when I started middle school? You told me to clean up after myself because you sure as hell wouldn't do it. And you didn't just say that either. You meant it. You didn't do a single thing for me after that. Same goes for Lily. She feels the same way as I do. She hates you.
That was my way of preparing you for the real world. Why do you think you both grew up to be such capable adults? Because I didn't spoil you two. I made you work.
Really? That's what you're going with? Let me get this straight. You wanted your kids to grow up to be independent, so you cast them aside and left them to their own devices? If you really wanted to teach us something, you could have at least taught us the basics yourself. Everything that you just said was an excuse, and you know it.
But that doesn't change the fact that all the chores around the house were handled right. It was thanks to the way that I raised you guys.
Well, that was due to Mom trying her best. We knew she was tired from work, so we wanted to help her out wherever we could. This is giving me a headache. Why am I even wasting my breath talking to you? Clearly, nothing is getting through to you. This is it. After today, you are no longer my parent, and I am no longer your son.
Huh? Justin, just wait. Let's not be rash now, shall we? What do you mean by that? What's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to you?
I can tell you what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna repay Jess for all the money that she sent to you. Now that I've settled into my new job, I'll be making more money so I can finally afford to do so.
Okay, Justin, that's great news, son. In that case, we can keep things the way they are, right? Even though you're making more money now, I won't ask for any more either. That's me being really nice. We can keep things exactly the way they are. See? I can be reasonable. How does that sound, Justin?
You still don't get it, do you? You absolute leech. It's just hopeless trying to explain things like this to you.
A leech? What did you just call me?
Just who do you think has been supporting your lifestyle all this time?
Well, maybe it was partly due to Jess.
Okay, so you do at least have a shred of self-awareness. Why haven't you thanked her then? How did you possibly think you could get away with asking her for more? You even tried to ask her to give a large amount of cash for this wedding. Just get out of here already.
Wait, no, you guys can't just exclude me like this. I'm gonna be all alone too if you guys cut ties with me. I've been grieving ever since I lost my wife. You should know how sad I feel too.
I know how sad it feels, and Jess was trying to help you through that, as she's so kind.
You could have at least shown a little appreciation to her. Wait, but I did show her some appreciation. Did you? I searched your chat history of over 300 plus messages, and not a single one said thanks. Forget that. Your attitude was downright entitled. You were acting like she owed you that money, that it was somehow her obligation to give you that money. Wait, but I'm her father-in-law. Don't you think she should at least show some respect for her in-laws? I mean, think about me for a second. Where we come from, a little financial support for your parents is expected. How am I supposed to keep up appearances with our relatives back home if she can't even do that for me? I don't buy any of that, Dad. Stop making up gross excuses for the terrible things that you've done. Also, you threatened her with divorce if she didn't listen to you. I heard about that too, by the way. Well, I guess I said that, but there's a good reason why I had to say that. If she can't even devote herself to her husband's family, what good of a wife could she possibly be? She didn't give me the money I asked for, and that's why I had to say that to her. It is her fault. Christ, are you serious? You're trying to blame what happened on her? What do you mean, am I serious? Yes, I'm serious. And I am your father, and you will not be speaking to me like that. Yeah? How come you're only a dad when it's convenient for you? Just so we're clear, neither me nor Lily consider you as a dad anymore. In fact, we haven't really thought of you as a family member for a long time. Now we're finally gonna be free from you. This is gonna feel so great. What are you trying to say, Justin? Are you seriously just gonna cut ties with me completely? Do you no longer care about what happens to your poor father? Why do you think either of us would care in the slightest if you disappeared? Name one thing you've done for us in the past 6 years. In fact, I'll be glad that you're gone. One less nuisance that I'll have to worry about. There's no way you mean that. You can't leave me. You're bluffing, I know it. Am I? Do you really think I'm the kind of guy that would bluff about this kind of stuff? Why do you think you're standing outside the wedding and not in it? It's because you're not allowed inside. And we have no intention of letting you in. We've already explained everything to Lily's parents, and they understand our decision too. After today, none of us are ever going to see you again. Oh, this is not acceptable at all. You guys are both ungrateful little brats. You think you can get away with having a wedding without a parent in attendance? You're not our parent. Get it through your head. Lily will live with her in-laws from now on, and that is final. She's moving out of your house for good. Oh, you can't do this to me. You and Lily would never have been born if it weren't for me. I'm your father, and you can't take that away from me. The guilt tripping is not gonna work anymore. If you wanted to be our dad, you should have acted like one. It's too late for that now. You can just pack up and leave. What am I supposed to do from now on? How am I supposed to survive? I don't have a source of income now. Figure that out yourself. You have nothing to do with us at this point. You're not a complete grandpa yet. You can still work, can't you? Work at a part-time job, like you made us do when we were kids. Work? Part-time? You're gonna make your elderly father work again? At my age? This is abuse. Elderly abuse. You guys better start sending me financial support or else. Okay, then I guess you can just live off your pensions in a few years' time then. I have no idea what you're gonna do until then, though. If you don't want to work, then I guess you'll have to say goodbye to your current lifestyle. I doubt you'll be able to keep it up with government money alone. You spend way too much. Why are you doing this to me? Do you not feel bad for me at all? Do you enjoy making your very own father suffer like this? Now you get it, don't you? Now that you're standing on the other side, maybe you can develop some empathy. This is what it felt like being raised by you. Both me and Lily greatly resent you for it. We have to live with the emotional baggage you gave us, so the least that you can do is stay away from us for the rest of your life. You ignored us and basically cut us off while we were growing up. If it weren't for Mom, who knows if I'd even be here today? Now it's time for us to ignore you and cut you off. Oh, how can you say such horrible things? Think of it as your past sins finally catching up to you. You've been living the good life until now, but all good things come to an end. So you better get used to it, quick. Oh, Justin, wait. I can't. There's no way. If you leave me, I won't be able to do anything with my life. You best thank Mom. Thanks to her, you at least still have a place to stay. That house was passed down to her from her parents after all. It's not actually your property, but you get to use it. Justin, I really think that you should rethink this. From now on, we are strangers. Don't call me by my name. Don't treat me like family. Don't come to me like family. Don't tell anyone else we're family, because we sure as hell won't. Don't even try and show up on our doorstep. It won't work. We actually moved house before the wedding, and we have no intention of giving you our new address. Wait, you guys moved? Oh, Justin, please. Listen to me. Listen, I'll do anything. I won't even ask for money. Actually now, I'll ask for less money. How does $1,000 a month sound? That's reasonable, right? I need something. Anything, please. I see you still haven't learned a single thing from this conversation. All right, I doubt we'll see each other again, so let me get all of this out of the way. Thanks for everything up until now. Don't come knocking ever again. I hope you live out the rest of your days in peace and quiet. Goodbye forever, Dad. This is the last time I ever talk to you. Oh, Justin, wait, I'm not done with our conversation. You feel better now, right? You feel better after getting that out of your system? Now, be a good boy and let me in the wedding. Justin, what the hell? How could you do this to me?
After the conversation, Bob broke down crying in front of the wedding venue. He was so loud that he had to be escorted far away by the security guards at the venue. We later found out that Bob had been spending the majority of the money we gave him on in-game currency and online games. He spent 90% of the money we gave him on in-game items, and he also took on a whole bunch of credit card debt to buy even more stuff in-game. He was addicted to buying items within an online game using real money. We were furious when we found out that's what he had been spending our money on. However, we also knew that his life was going to be absolute hell from now on, so that was a little satisfying to think about. Bob was unable to pay off the credit card debt that he had accumulated. He ended up having to sell his house to pay it all off. The last I heard, he was living on the streets begging people for a living. His life sure did take a huge downward spiral. Thanks for watching! If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.